Hey guys, so I wanted to do a follow-up to my last video about NBA Playgrounds 2. When I made my last video, I'd only played the game for a few hours, so I just labeled it as a first impressions video. I didn't have enough time with the game to give it a fair review in my opinion. So now that I've spent a couple of days with the game, I'd like to dig a little deeper into what my opinions are of this game. Also, I wanted to note that I did not play the first game, so I will not be comparing the first two in any way. I'll be strictly telling you my opinions of this as a standalone game all by itself. With that stated, let's get started. NBA Playgrounds 2 is an arcade-style basketball game built from the mold of NBA Jam and NBA Streets. It's an all-over-the-top, ridiculous game that is loaded with fun and enjoyment. They use a cartoon art design where all the players have oversized heads and disproportionate features, similar to that of bobblehead. The courts are unique in design with active and creative activities going on in the background. The game has an energetic play-by-play and color commentators who help to give the game extra life. They can be repetitive at times, but it's nothing that's unbearable. The gameplay is a bit different from your average arcade-style basketball game. The largest difference is the shot meter. Every time you shoot, the meter will appear on the top middle of your screen. You will need to release your shot when the meter is in the middle of the green. When you release it, will display your percentage chance of making the shot. This will be determined by the type of shot you are taking, your player's relative skill attribute for that particular shot, stamina, and how wild of a shot you are taking. If you release in the red of the meter, then you will have a 0% chance of making the shot. To be honest, I was at first not a fan of this in an arcade game, but I quickly became accustomed to the feature, and now I actually prefer it. This adds a bit of skill required to play this game, which can be a bit of a turnoff to casual players, but is rewarding to regular players. Other than that, the players did move a bit stiff for me at first. I felt like they moved more like a simulation style game as opposed to an arcade style game. The turbo button, for instance, is a very subtle difference, and it took me some time to even realize the difference in my player's speed. However, I have adjusted, but I would say that it is still my lone issue with the gameplay itself. For specials, you have a basketball in the bottom corner of your screen that you fill up. Once the ball is full, then you receive a lottery or random special, which can be anywhere from putting an ice cap on the opponent's basket to cursing the opposition or even multiplying the points of your own baskets. This can ultimately affect the outcome of the game, so pay attention to it. The game is broken up into four main modes: exhibition, season, 3-point contest, and online mode. In exhibition mode, you can mix and match a 2-on-2 game. By mix and match, I mean you can have a team of Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson versus Dominique Wilkins and Steph Curry. You don't have to play Bulls versus Lakers or Warriors versus Cavs. Exhibition mode also supports local co-op or versus, meaning you can play with or against a local player. You can have season mode where you play a regular season of 14 3-minute games with the top 8 teams from each conference moving on to the playoffs, where each round of the playoffs will be a best-of-3 series. In season mode, you cannot mix and match your teams, meaning you pick one team and you play with that team the entire way. You can, however, change your players that you play with on that team from game to game. They do keep track of player stats throughout the season, tallying games played by each player, points, rebounds, blocks, and so forth. This I came to really appreciate as I'm a big stats guy. You can also play through the entire season with a friend online or locally, which is a big plus in my opinion. A few things missing for me is that while they do track stats, for some reason they neglected to track assists. I may be nitpicking here, but I really wish they tracked assists. And the other thing is there is no league leader section. This can often be my favorite part of a season mode in any sports game, and they are missing it here. Next, you have the 3-point contest mode, which is just what it sounds like, a best-of-3 contest between you and another player. I found this mode somewhat enjoyable, but at the same time somewhat limited. I think this is lacking with no tournament. You literally play one head-to-head matchup, and that is it. And finally, to the online mode. I haven't spent too much time with the online mode, but I enjoyed the time that I did spend. You have the option to pair up with a friend or random against a pair of other randoms, or you can just play head-to-head against a friend or random. This mode has a rankings board, keeps track of your play history, and saves your stats as well. This mode was actually deeper than I was anticipating, although it would be nice if they added online tournaments. In my limited time with the online mode, I didn't experience any performance issues, so that was an overall positive experience. Before I get to my problems with this game, I will first talk about a few of my favorite parts. First, the player upgrades. I absolutely love this feature. Each player will start as a bronze status, but through gaining XP and completing specific challenges for that player, you will advance them from bronze to silver and then gold. Each challenge will increase that player's attribute in the area that is related to that challenge. The best part is that it is very noticeable difference in how that player performs after you have upgraded him. I can't speak highly enough to this feature, as it is probably my favorite aspect of the game. Then there are the player bios. This is a really small feature that most may not care about, but I really appreciated them and found them to be a nice bonus. Now on to another great thing about this game, which will segue into the worst thing about this game, the rosters. I absolutely love the roster lineup that they have here. It's a wonderful mix of current and past players. I really couldn't be more pleased with the entirety of the roster. There are a few missing players, which I assume at the least some of which will be added in the future, these being Charles Barkley, Reggie Miller, AI, Penny Hardaway, and Wilt Chamberlain. There may be a few more that I'm missing, but I was actually surprised with how deep the roster is, especially with some of the obscure players, like my all-time favorite, Nick Van Exel. They are also missing a creative player mode, which was a bit disappointing, but I was overall impressed with the rosters in general. Alright, well, why is the roster the worst part of the game? Well, the game is built around these card packs. You have player card packs and swag packs. The player card packs come in bronze, silver, and gold. You buy these packs using baller points, which is essentially XP you earn. You earn baller points in every game mode, season, online, and even 3-point contests. The more expensive player packs, well, as you guessed it, reward you with the better players. Player packs consist of 4 players and some virtual currency, or VC, golden points, whatever they call it, which you can use to buy swag packs. The swag packs consist of different gear that you can equip your players with, which is not really my thing, but I'm sure that some people really enjoy this. Okay, so still, what is the problem with this? I mean, gaining XP and unlocking players is a fun idea, right? Well, yes it is, but the problem is that you literally start the game with 0 playable characters. That's right, every single player is locked when you first start the game. You are, however, rewarded with 3 player packs and 1 swag pack. You get 1 gold pack and 2 bronze player packs, which means you do unlock 12 players to start with. 12 players out of 300 total players, so I've played maybe 30 exhibition games, an entire season, a handful of 3-point contests, and online matches, and I've gained a total of 24,000 baller points, which is enough to unlock 4 gold packs. I couldn't even unlock Michael Jordan by himself with the baller points that I've earned. This is just an atrocious amount of grinding, which in my estimate would be 100 plus hours to unlock everyone. You can unlock individual players, like Jordan costs 25,000 baller points, and by winning a season, you will unlock a legend or epic player from that particular team. But still, I think this takes a system of opening packs that could be fun and makes it painful. The saving grace for me was that for an additional $10, you can unlock the entire roster, including players that they may add down the road. This to me was a no-brainer and well worth the money, considering that the game itself is only $30 on the PS4. I was only at $40 after unlocking everyone and saved myself a crap ton of time. I know some people are extremely upset that they built the game out this way, and I agree that it is a bad business practice, but at the same time, I buy the game at $40 all day long. Also, every player is legitimately earnable through the grinding, and nobody is completely locked behind a paywall. I would just ask yourself the question, if the game is worth $40 to you or not. If you don't mind paying $30 and grinding for 100 plus hours, then good on you. But if you are totally against paying the extra $10 and are going to be upset with like how the majority of the roster is locked when you start the game, then I would stay away from it. I think this could have been fixed if they started the game with at least all the current players unlocked and then made you have to grind the XP for the legends and epic players. This would be much more acceptable in my opinion. All that being said, I absolutely love this game and would recommend it to anyone who is a past or present NBA fan or just a fan of arcade sports games. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like the video if you found it helpful and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.